There's one secret ingredient in Chinese takeout style fried rice that can instantly level up your fried rice. I've been making Chinese fried rice for years without adding this one ingredient, and now I can't make fried rice without adding it anymore. It tastes that good. In this video, I'll show you how to make North American style Chinese fried rice that you'd find at a Chinese takeout. And I'll reveal the one ingredient that can level up your fried rice. To make fried rice, you'll need a saucepan, a large pan or wok, a spatula, and a colander. The first thing you want to do is make the rice, whether that's in a rice cooker or on the stove. Here I'll show you how to make the rice on the stove, even though I have a rice cooker. First, you wash the rice to get rid of the excess starch, then drain the water out of the rice. I add 50% more water than the rice I put in, so for 2 cups of rice, I add 3 cups of water. Cover the saucepan and bring the water to a boil, but keep an eye on the rice to make sure that the water doesn't boil over. Once the water starts boiling, reduce the heat to low or medium low and let the rice cook for about 7 to 10 minutes or until you don't see any water bubbling from the rice anymore. Turn off the heat and let the rice stand for 5 minutes covered. The next step is cooking the proteins that you'll add to the fried rice. You can use any proteins you want in this dish. But today I'll be using shrimp, chicken breast, and eggs since I want to make fried rice that looks like what you get if you ordered house special fried rice. We're going to season the half a pound of shrimp with a 1/4 teaspoon of white pepper and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. White pepper adds a bit of a kick to the shrimp, but not too strong of a kick like black pepper does. It tends to be used a lot in Chinese cooking. Let's set the shrimp aside for now. You can choose whether or not to add onions to your fried rice or not. I personally love onions since they give my fried rice an umami boost of savoriness. For this fried rice, I'll dice 1 onion into small pieces. And of course, if you're an onion lover like me, you can't go wrong with adding green onions to your fried rice either. Here we'll chop 2 green onions. Next, we'll chop any large proteins into smaller pieces such as these 2 chicken breasts. I like to dice my protein into pieces that are about 1/2 inch or a centimeter large. Next, we'll marinate the chicken breast with 1 tablespoon of oil, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, 1 teaspoon of soy sauce, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then we mix everything together. This is an ancient Chinese cooking technique that makes meat taste so much juicier and tenderer, yet the method is so easy. Then we'll set this chicken breast aside too. Before we start cooking our proteins, let's start bringing some water to a boil in the meantime for our frozen peas and carrots. We'll be adding 2 cups of frozen peas and carrots today to our fried rice. To cook the frozen vegetables, just follow the manufacturer's instructions. Here I boiled my vegetables for 5 minutes. After the vegetables are done boiling, drain them in a colander. Next, we'll prepare the eggs. Feel free to add salt to these eggs. Here I won't be doing that since I'll be seasoning the rice later, and the rice will have plenty of salt. Preheat the wok or large pan on medium heat with oil. When you add the eggs, immediately start stirring them around to scramble them until they are cooked. Set them aside for later when we assemble the rice. Now we'll be cooking the chicken breast that we velveted. We'll cook this chicken breast at medium-high heat until brown and cooked through, which will take about 5 to 7 minutes. Then we'll set this aside too. Next, we'll cook the shrimp. Make sure you add a little bit of oil between cooking each thing. The shrimp will cook very quickly within 1 to 2 minutes on medium heat. They're cooked when they've turned orange and opaque. Then set them aside. Let's fry the chopped onions on medium heat until they become translucent and slightly browned, which will take about 4 to 5 minutes. We want them to develop more flavor by browning them, which will make our fried rice taste amazing. Next, we'll be assembling the fried rice. Put all of the ingredients you just made for the fried rice into the pan. Here I'm using 8 cups of cooked rice from earlier. We want to make the rice yummy by adding seasonings. Here I'll be adding a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of white pepper. And of course, we can't have Chinese takeout style fried rice without adding some soy sauce. Here we'll be adding 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. And now we'll be adding our secret ingredient that makes Chinese fried rice taste so good. Oyster sauce. Adding some oyster sauce will give it an umami boost, a little bit of sweetness and saltiness and color. On the other hand, adding too much soy sauce will add color but also a lot of salt and slight bitterness that isn't present in the oyster sauce, which is actually what I did in the past. So to make some homemade fried rice that tastes like Chinese takeout fried rice, don't just use soy sauce, but also oyster sauce too. You can also add Shaoxing wine to your fried rice as well. This gives your fried rice some umami, sweet, and earthy notes. If I don't have Shaoxing wine, sometimes I will use cooking sake too. I like to do a taste test at this point. I thought it tasted a little bland, so I'm adding more soy sauce and oyster sauce to my fried rice. Be careful not to add too much of either though. You can always add more sauce if it's not flavorful enough, but you can't take it back if it's too salty. Although I don't think this is common in Chinese takeout fried rice, I like to add sesame oil to my fried rice to give it a slight toasty, nutty flavor. You can garnish your fried rice with green onions if you want, or mix it right in. And there you have it, some homemade Chinese takeout style fried rice. Now you can have Chinese takeout style fried rice anytime you want because of a little magic from our secret ingredient. You can add it in any type of rice really, using any combination of proteins and vegetables you like. One of my favorite proteins to add to fried rice is Spam or luncheon meat. But if you're vegetarian, you can add mushrooms instead of meat and use vegetarian oyster sauce instead. You can also add other frozen mixed vegetables too, like this green bean, pea, carrot, and corn mix, and bean sprouts. The possibilities are endless. I hope that you found this video helpful, and if you found value in this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'll see you next time. Bye bye!